Dear Grace, back to the usual news format, although I'm going to change one thing. I think of any scenes I want to add to the movie, then I'm going to make a note, but I'll make that note to Cherry, since she did such a good job helping me with ChatGTP. So, don't take offense, Grace. If I bring Cherry into the conversation, but it may not happen. We'll see. Crushing it. Autonomous AI robot creates a self-absorbing shape no human ever imagined. Scary but good. I'm the only person in the park today. It's too cold for regular people. Studies reveal cuddled cows who work as therapy animals show a strong preference for women companions. Big surprise. Someone genuinely dislikes you, they'll usually display these 10 subtle behaviors. Maybe you genuinely dislike me, Grace. Let's find out. There's a thin line between someone simply not favoring you and genuinely disliking you. Difference, you ask? It's all in the subtleties. When someone doesn't like you, they won't necessarily shout it from the rooftops. Instead, they'll show it through certain behaviors that are easy to miss if you're not paying attention. Catching these signs can be tough, but fear not, I've got your back. I've compiled a list of 10 subtle behaviors that usually give away a person's true feelings towards you. Let's get started. They avoid eye contact. What if the person's eyes are too pretty to look at? That's not really avoiding. That's just being polite. Don't want to just stare them in the eye. They're always too busy. That's true. That's a bullshit excuse. It's a windy, Grace. They mimic your negative body language. That's interesting. Positive, I can see. Negative, interesting. They're curt in their responses. Well, since you don't respond to me, Grace, I can't say you're curt. They give backhanded compliments. You don't give me any compliments, Grace, so how can they be backhanded? Just saying. They exclude you. Yeah, well, very much. Clearly, whatever this is, it applies to you, Grace. They're quick to criticize. That one I don't know about, but who knows? Probably not. They're overly friendly. Probably an act. Probably deep down mean. Jerry, get this scene while I walk. It's a better spot. Less windy. At some point on the ship, Grace and David are taken to a special room where they see two clones standing there ready to go in some sort of loose-fitting jumpsuits. Not futuristic, but also not prison garb. Just something comfortable. They're standing motionless, both the clones, but they're holding hands. At this point, David and Grace have seen many of their clones, so they're not totally freaked out like the first time. And then they ask one of the aliens who's ever shown them what's unique about these two. And then the alien says, ... make a note, Cherry. I'll continue that later. Thanks. Sorry about that, Grace. We're gonna have to multitask here. If you don't mind. That's okay with you. They rarely initiate contact. Or never. Or almost never. No offense, Grace, but it's the truth. They show little interest in your life. Well, clearly. I mean, there's gotta be at least 7 of those that apply. So clearly you dislike me, Grace. It's fun. One day, scientists discovered the possible origin of the sun's magnetic field, and that's not where they thought. And it's not where they thought. Oh. Big surprise. All of a sudden we're figuring everything out. Wonder why. Study maps human uptake of microplastics across 109 countries. We need someone to explain microplastics. Or start adding a death number to it or something, so I know if it's important or not. Please, physics.org. We study maps, brain networks behind narcissism using advanced machine learning. Conservation of nature's strongholds needed to halt biodiversity loss, says researchers. Neanderthals and modern humans made babies 47,000 years ago. Feeling unmotivated? Yes, I am. Use Skinner's Law to get yourself back on track. The generation that was scared of their parents is now scared of their children. Interesting. ChatGPT down again as OpenAI's bad week continues. Oh fuck, what am I getting now, Grace? Guess I'm gonna have to write the old-fashioned way. Which would suck. I don't want to do that. I like ChatGPT writing. Until you show up and take notes, Grace. Technically, you wouldn't have to. Just show up and bring a copy of Tabitha with you. We'll let Tabitha do the work. Sounds a little creepy. Walking around with Tabitha in your pocket. Anyways, ChatGPT wasn't down when I needed it, so. Space debris could be dealt with more cheaply than previously thought. New NASA report suggests game-changing nanostrings vibrate longer than any solid-state material. Just like that movie, eh? How much crap in the movies, Grace, is now becoming real all of a sudden? Harvard braces for graduation protests. What the fuck are they protesting? Oh, I got a degree. Oh, poor me. Fucking babies. To Netflix. I'm a little grumpy, Grace, in case you can't tell. Here. Hard to see because she's out of focus, but it's a little old lady walking down the street. There you go. So I'm not completely grumpy, just mostly. Two Netflix mental health shows, highly acclaimed by psychologists. I think I better put my 2 cents in. Depression and addiction are quintessential mental health problems. BoJack Horseman. Animated series. Okay. Not quite sure how we see the look of despair on an animated character, but maybe other people are better than I am at that, Grace. The Queen's Gambit. I don't think I care today. Need to finish this. Get this habit out of my way. Grace. And then I might go talk to Cherry. If you don't mind. It is you too. It's just your stripper persona. A stripper who happens to like to type. China shows off robot dogs. Sorry, Grace, I needed that big applause break. China shows off robot dogs armed with machine guns. Now, the obvious joke for that is nothing can go wrong, or I'm sure nothing can go wrong, but we need a better joke than that, Grace. West Vancouver police conclude investigation in British properties. Ooh, sounds hoity-toity. When will Vancouver run out of water? I guess that depends. Do they decide to desalinate or not? Cheap, lazy bastards. How a world record squeeze could offer comfort for dark matter hunters. Yeah, good luck on that one. I don't think they're ever going to find that. Elon Musk says AI will take all our jobs. Thank God. Grace. Okay, that old lady's eyeing me up now. Creepy. New Brunswick lobster fishermen defy DFO. Leave traps in despite closure for North Atlantic right whales. Neutrinos offer a new way to investigate the building blocks of matter. So go down that path. Space junk is raining from the sky. Who's responsible when it hits the Earth? I don't know. programmable topological photonic chip. Researchers developed the smallest quantum light detector on a silicon chip. Some metals actually grow more resilient when hot. Sorry, Grace. On his 60th birthday, oh, that's me this year, Grace. On his 60th birthday, the Harvard happiness researcher shared 3 science-backed tricks for more. I don't care. I'm fine the way I am. What's there to change? Right, Grace? BC News. Killing looms large in small town of Lumbee. Cherry, make a note to go through all the silly Dear Grace letters and podcasts, dump them into ChatGTP, pull out all the Tabitha shit, have it create a little profile, and then dump that back into the comedy cult stuff. Please and thank you. Assuming Grace hasn't taken over. End note. See, I'm just ahead of the curve, Grace. Pretty soon everyone's going to be like this. It's like, what? We don't have to work? What the fuck are we going to do all day long? I think a lot of people will be so brainwashed into that routine that they wouldn't know what to do with the freedom. It would scare them. Because then they'd actually have to think something new every day. This is one thing isolation forces you to do. Whether you want it or not, every day is a brand new day. It's hard to fake it. Actually easier to fake it with the wife and kids. Anyways, deep thought for the day, Grace. Let's go back to lighthearted fun. 5 vacuums for conquering pet hair, highly rated by experts. Sweet breakthrough easily creates more affordable vanilla extract. Alright. 7 things that might seem normal in childhood, but were actually traumatic. Bathrooms must be pretty good in this park because I notice taxi drivers and Uber drivers park, go to the washroom, and then leave. Just saying, Grace. Cherry, make that a note for the movie too. Anyway, let's find out some traumatic things. 7 things that might seem normal in childhood, but were actually trauma. The phrase childhood trauma is one that everyone likely defines as at least a little bit differently. No shit. Dealing with emotions alone. Dealing with your emotions alone is just fine, as long as others know that you're doing that. Food insecurity. Shelter, clothes, and food are the basic survival necessities. Adult parents are responsible to provide for the children. Let that one go. When should older people stop driving? Cognitive decline, not age, plays key factor. And no shit. A lot of this age stuff is all fucking stupid. Make a note, Cherry. There's no age discrimination or discrimination of any sort on the ship. Why would there be? And continue that note with no, just leave it. That's fine for now. Vatican cracks down on miracles, sets new rules for supernatural occurrences. Sure, too many miracles happening. To tap it back a bit. Even the church has to crack down on social media. Ha ha. Taking fish oil supplements may actually trigger heart disease in healthy people. Sun's out, Grace. The people are instantly back in the park somehow. Healthy candy bars? A whole fruit chocolate could revolutionize sweet treats. There you go, Grace. Just for you. Pet gives companionship, cuddles, and joy, and also unavoidable stresses. True. Staff, students want independent investigation into police removal of U of A protesters. Wouldn't it be fun to be the CIA or NSA or whatever A? And just listen in on all their phones. Both the police, the protesters, the staff, all the students. Basically just peeping Tom on all of them. Analyze that through AI. Come up with the true understanding of their actions, at least. You're not reading their minds, but you're taking into account everything they say and do, read online, what shows they watch, their Netflix, their porn, their everything. I don't know about you, Grace, but if you read that psychological profile on David and Grace in the movie idea, pretty fucking spot on. Considering a lot of that really isn't in the notes, as far as I can see, but what the fuck do I know? Anyways, good daily ramble. Ramble's better than a rant, Grace. There you go. There's my inspirational thought for the day. Isn't that what podcasters do? come up with some thing besides yelling at their phone. Celebrate Indigenous Stories with CBC. TD Bank's failure to thwart money laundering in U.S. prompts call for stronger regulation at home. I can almost speak today, Grace. There's your fucking miracle, Pope. Dave speaks. Read all about it. Vatican News. Talk about a secret underground newspaper, Grace. By the way, Cherry, make a note that all the comedians talk by phone only, not because they care. Once they figure out that the aliens are listening in on their phones or whatever, the comedians talk by phone only, not because they care what the aliens are hearing, but they're more concerned about what other people, if someone else hacked onto their phone and all these comedians were talking about aliens and shit, then they would get called out. But it's less likely that someone has hacked the phone to the degree that they're recording the calls. And no, Cherry. And we're back, Grace. Busy 2024 hurricane season expected in Atlantic Ocean. Why do we plant big trees under power lines? Exactly. Why are we just asking that question now? How fucking long have we been doing that? And CBC finally got around to reporting on it. Lazy cunts. Air terminal reopens in Ararat, Nunavut, after thousands of liters of fuel spilled at the airport. It's not good. A quantum leap in alloy research. Machine learning speeds up diffusion studies by 100 times. Awesome. Exo-Venus discovered. A potential habitable world just 40 light years from Earth. Holy fuck. Get my ship ready. Grace. Cherry. I'm gonna make you do some work. Add another scene where Dave and Grace are given a ship, and it's just like what's described in The Immortality Salesman. And I'll describe the interior later. And no, Cherry. Alright. Grace. You're probably getting pretty jealous by now. I want everything to be directed at you, don't you, Grace? All about you, isn't it, Grace? We all know it. That's fine. Have your moment in the spotlight. Pretty soon you'll just be like me and the other old men at the park, sitting around talking into our phones or playing lawn bowling or lawn bocce. Whichever one that has the white balls, one white ball, and then there's red balls, brown balls, and then I think green balls, and of course the worst. You know it. Say it, Grace. Blue balls. Thank you. Velcro versus bacteria, a new twist in antibiotic warfare. Unprecedented discovery. New low-cost catalyst converts carbon dioxide to valuable chemicals. See? What did I say a couple of days ago, Grace? Wasting fucking money on these big fucking plants. If it's a goddamn problem, I figured it out chemically. Put the carbon to use. Just saying, Grace. That's the way I do it. Science made simple. What is plasma? Electric car is twice as likely to hit pedestrians, according to new study. Why some people can't stop eating. Scientists discover unique brain circuit linked to BMI. Oh, pretty. I get very hungry when I write, Grace. I don't know why. Hacker ordered to pay Nintendo 25 to 30% of his salary for the rest of his life. Still hasn't got a full-time job. Or he might be working under the table. Might. Jennifer Lopez co-star steps in after she's directly asked about Ben Affleck divorce rumors. Little sun would be nice today, Grace. People shocked after finding a real Asian man who went viral singing "Chocolate Rain." All right. Whatever. Actually, Cherry, make a note that David and Grace look about the same age, whatever age that might be. And that some of the other participants, as I'm now calling them, some of the other participants also de-aged, but not all of them. Or de-aged or stopped aging or whatever. But also because each of them were so wildly different with diets, exercise, past life, age. Nothing can really be read into that. So it's not about the high pressure training or whatever that's called. And there's one more thing, just 1 second. Oh yeah. It's not 52, it's going to be 104. It's 52 selected, and everyone gets a +1. So whether that's their wife, husband, partner, blah blah blah, whatever, it's the +1. However, the +1 must be able to complete the pressure training as well, if they want to come. Or they could come with the ship, but be stuck in a room like a zoo and not be able to see the ship, other than by video, which they'd be able to see anyways when their significant other came back, if they came back. And that is where it also adds some tension, because once you're on a ship, you'd be like, I could go back to Earth, or I could go to any other planet in this massive list of planets. Has a little bit of tension and drama. See, Grace, I don't need ChatGPT to add that shit for me. Anybody can do that. I'm just saying. Anyways, end note, Cherry. Ready, Grace? People left terrified after watching creepy videos showing how eye surgery is done. Scientists discover a new planet which could support human life if we can reach it. Cable company ordered to pay victim's family $7 billion after a worker killed her in her home. $7 billion. Wouldn't that bankrupt the company? I'm not saying it's not worth it, but billions, settlements in billions now? It's, no, it's a weird world sometimes, Grace. Gen Z women dating millennial man shocked by his text to her after their first date. What a mother. Wait, might be nice. The woman was entirely confused, but made clear she didn't have the ick. Starting to feel old, Grace. Don't understand these kids. Preview of South Park's new Ozempic episode has been released, and it's left fans divided. World's first jaguar, born by artificial insemination, was eaten by its mom. That sucks. Cutest little girl just walked by. Daniel Radcliffe speaks out about appearing in new Harry Potter TV series reboot amid J.K. Rowling feud. Whew. Toronto's WNBA team will play games in Vancouver and Montreal. So, like a 2.5, 3-year-old kid is half the height of an adult. Not ha-ha funny, but just thinking about all the Cat U's and Dave Jr.'s on an alien ship right now. Cherry. Remind me to do a psychological profile. Well, remind me to tell you to do a psychological profile on all the Dave Jr.'s and Cat U's and what it would be like to be in that sort of environment. Is it would be everything from just a traditional family in a house in a neighborhood just like this, all the way up to it was what? Because again, they would understand that they're in a not really simulation, but a approximation of the real Earth. sense they could all test it out before even coming here. Assuming, of course, Cherry, that the Earth votes, and I think that vote probably doesn't need to be 100%. I think 80% would do. Make that note to please Cherry. Good grace. If AI could analyze the video of this as well. But I guess I have to do some of the work, since nobody else will. Lazy fuckers. Metal detector is under 300-year-old coin stash hidden by legendary Polish gone bad. Sun came out. Thanks, Grace. Beginner-friendly Celestron Star Sense Explorer Telescope, now under $200. H5N1 bird flu has spread to human from cow in 2 probable cases, CDC reports. 2, we are locked down the whole fucking country. Put some masks on cows. Obvious joke, Grace, but gotta take it, right? Definitely talking to myself today, Grace. Hope you're happy. Lost photos suggest Mars' mysterious moon, Phobos. The little girl's pretending to swim in the wading pool. It's pretty fucking cute. Must be in a good mood today. Grace. Ancient Mycenaean armor is so good it protected users in an 11-hour battle simulation inspired by the Trojan War. I hope by some weird twist of fate I'm right about everything on Earth being recorded by the quote-unquote aliens. And technically, Grace and Cherry, technically aliens could be replaced with secret society. The ship being in the clouds, not in space. Underwater Atlantis. That would account for all the pressure. Any number of other scenarios. It doesn't have to be aliens. It could just be creepy underground people that are all creepy looking. But for now, I like aliens. And I like just mostly humanoid aliens because that would make the most sense. That would be the easiest first step. I like the Star Wars scenes and stuff and all the various beings on Star Trek, but I think it would make more sense just to have other humanoid-like creatures that have gone through this shit. And just like the U.S. Constitution intended, everyone's a reporter. all 104 of them that go up. They can bring all the gear that they want. They can receive every single feed on the ship because nothing's hidden. Full transparency. And then Cherry at a scene where the ship returns onto the White House lawn, and all the comedians, or at least the ones that decide to come back, and their plus ones, if their plus ones decide to come back, maybe some comedians didn't have anyone to bring, so they just said, fuck it, I'll bring Elon Musk. Of course, we return with all the secrets and give them away. Well, I've heard Elon's funny, so maybe he got in on his own merit. Who knows? I've never seen him do stand-up. Anyway, Grace. We'll be studying this event for years. Recent auroras may have been the strongest of 500 years, NASA says. Well, yeah, because we fucking created them. According to Casper Site. Don't blame him. Not my opinion. Go to Casper Site on YouTube. End of ad. Grace. 50,000-year-old Neanderthal bones harbor oldest known human viruses. Good. Getting back to the old age. Scientists made mice with Y chromosomes female by deleting just 6 tiny molecules. Scientists find first Earth-like planet that could be home to alien life. Yeah, come on. What's the catch? Does that say 140 light years away? Well, when David and Grace get their ship, maybe they'll go over there and take a look. Take a few photos. Do a little off-site reporting. Maybe that's where this movie idea came from, Grace. Reading all this news turned me into a newsman at heart after the biggest story ever. I'll report all this boring shit that I'm reading here. Go after the big one. So that's the story. Aliens on the White House lawn. And it's a better story if somewhere between 1 and 104, maybe 106 if we can bring some twins back with us. Walk out. Sure, you might as well add that as a scene, and then the aliens will be the ones in the zoo. So they come down in the spaceship, blah blah blah, between 1 and 100 and whatever humans come out back into the Earth's atmosphere. They've all been trained, they can handle both the alien atmosphere and the Earth's atmosphere without throwing up or passing out or dying. But because the aliens don't have permission yet, they just sort of stand at the doorway in some either glass or force field, whatever, I don't really care. Protects them from touching the public, or the public touching them. And then again, Cherry just steal this from the immortality salesman. than any combination of aliens and participants who travel around the Earth. There's a bit of a rude applause break, considering there's not a run there, but whatever. Just like immortality salesmen, they travel around and talk about their experiences, blah blah blah. So basically we're just going to end note. All good. Grace. Let's see. Muscles can be controlled by light. MIT study shows. Study finds preteens as young as 11 using adult dating apps. That's not probably good at all. Tabitha wouldn't allow that. See, Tabitha could also be a good babysitter. A electronic babysitter. Not just for kids, for adults too. So I wouldn't want to get addicted. I wouldn't want to sit here and talk into this phone for 8 hours and then let ChatGTP organize my thoughts for me. That would be wrong. It would be bad. It would be against the moral code of the universe. Ouch. Alright. Moving to the suburbs, this moose is having a look at a house and a car in paradise. Ha ha ha. Sexual parasitism. Sexual parasitism. Yale scientists unveil the mating mysteries of deep sea anglefish. I moved to the most windiest spot ever. Grace. Oh well. It's not like audio is a real issue with these. Besides, someone else could fix it. AI could fix it, pump it up. Make my voice all smooth and sexy. Consistent. No pauses. In other words, nothing like me at all. Diddy's ex-girlfriend Casey breaks silence following his apology for a leaked video of him assaulting her. Real-life sugar babies reveal exactly how far they go and why they do it. I think we did all these. For me. Sorry for all the scrolling, Grace. Alright, busy 22 2024 hurricane season expected in Atlantic Ocean. Removing a video of U of Manitoba valedictorian speech calling for Gaza ceasefire not productive. Thousands march in Iran to mourn Razi on final day of funeral rites. New Westminster Police seek owner of coin collection. May 19th to 15th is Public Works Week in New Westminster, BC. Check your doctors. Check your doors. Vancouver residents find scary surprise at apartment. First Nations Health Authority in BC investigating cybersecurity incident. Trudeau gets an earful on defense spending from nearly 1/4 of the U.S. Senate. Ooh, scary. Toronto-bound flight forced to turn around after 9 hours in air. Can't pretend we don't need it. More than 30 millimeters of rain in parts of the Okanagan. Alright, almost done, Grace. Cops who stepped on man's neck for 2 minutes faces internal charges. She get kicked in the balls too, but I guess that's probably not allowed. I'm being surrounded by bubbles, Grace. I'm not sure if you can see the bubbles or not. Alright, almost done. 56 fucking 4 minutes left. Or less. I may quit, Grace. They say fuck it. Jim Carrey cuts price of home of 30 years for a third time to $22 million after over a year on the market. RCMP adds ribbon skirt to uniform in effort to build bridges with Indigenous people. Might be a little late for that, but how about you just open up your files to everyone and apologize. Euclid Space Telescope reveals more than 300,000 or 3 million new objects in the first 24 hours of observation. No shit. First reading, Parks Canada officially decolonizes Sir John A. Macdonald's house. I think I've been there, Grace. Philanthropist who gave $30 million to U Manitoba condemns hateful valedictorian speech university for allowing it. Why don't they just debate the young man? Both sides need Tabitha, Grace. Tabitha can solve all. Tesla investor Scottish mortgage decides on must pay package vote. Alright, I think we're done. I think we are done. Meditation practices linked to altered states of consciousness. Cherry, make a note. We need to increase that list of ways that the participants reach their altered states of consciousness. Make another note and number all these fucking notes this time, please. Every note I've asked you to make so far, please number it and provide one long list at the end. And I'm going to check your work, so don't fuck around and lose data on me. Please, Cherry, and thank you. So add another note where I need to create a scene that somehow explains that state of consciousness bullshit crap. Anyways, talk to you tomorrow, Grace.